Welcome, welcome, welcome. See if I got my internet working any better. That was a big, long... keep going. We're letting more viewers know you're live. Yay! Thanks, TikTok. You're the best. Oh, TikTok, I've always wanted a social media service like you. There's no one like you, TikTok. You're the best. Looks like my numbers are updating a little more real time, so maybe I'll stutter a little less. Invite another host. More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. Keep whacking that like button. Let people know we're here. And then I'll get started. Holy crap. The amount of news, the amount of... Enjoy your content. Thank you very much. Yeah, welcome everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We get together pretty much nightly lately because I'm, sociopath. And rather than sim racing for 2 or 3 hours a night, I've been going live for 2 or 3 hours a night talking about AI. And we have fun. Hey, Tobias, what's shaking? We have fun here. I like to cuss a lot, so if you don't like cussing, I wouldn't stay. I get smarmy. I get a little smart-assy. If you're going to troll me, at least be creative. If you can dial in your trolls to be somewhere between a compliment and a put-down, those are the best ones. Those are the ones that make me laugh. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. Hello, Stacy. What's shaking? AI vampire. I know. Yeah, for anyone on the East Coast or certainly Europe. I guess Europe is on the verge of waking up at this point. There's a lot going on. If you've been here before, you'll notice my little wall of URLs has grown. There's a lot happening, so I'll talk about all that in a second. I've started 12 or 15 companies in my day. I was an entrepreneur in the early days of the World Wide Web. I started one of the first digital agencies, a company called agency.com, and was chief creative officer there. And so I love being like right as a technology goes from, the geeks territory to the rest of us territory. That's when I like jumping on board. And so this generative AI stuff, November 30th, 2022, that was when ChatGPT launched. In my opinion, that marks the inflection point from, it was for the geeks before, it's for the rest of us now. And the geeks still get to play, don't get me wrong. But holy crap, this stuff is coming fast, and it's coming in a deeply profound way. So that's what this channel's about. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the questions below. Let me explain all these URLs. There we go. Okay, so if you're new to this generative AI stuff, if you've not played with ChatGPT, if you haven't heard of ChatGPT, that's okay. A lot of people haven't. Go to that top URL, chat.openai.com. You can ignore these other pile down here, the four below it right now. I'll talk about those in a second. But go to chat.openai.com. Go there and start playing with it until you've had what I call a Kevin McAllister moment, this moment from Home Alone. And when you have that moment, that's when your journey begins. And just think of it as an adventure. And if you start to feel things like existential dread and like, holy crap, is this thing going to take my job? And is this better at doing what I do than I am? Then you're doing it right. And if you have a simultaneous feeling of, oh my God, this is the most exciting thing I've ever seen, and holy crap, I'm terrified, that's the appropriate feeling. Okay, so for the past, I don't know, month and a half, I've only had 3 sites here: Chat, GPT, Bing, and Poe. I've added Claude AI and Bard.google.com. For those of you that have been here before, you know that the reason I didn't have Bard on this list before is because it sucked. They released a new version of it today or yesterday, I don't know when, but it's good now. It's like it's good. It's just it's not the same. It's Google, but it's actually got good interface. It'll analyze images. It does coding really well. It does tables really well. Some of the language stuff I played with was pretty solid. Claude AI. That is Anthropic's Claude 2 model, which is their competitor to GPT-4. It's got 100,000 token context window, which basically means somewhere between 50 and 75,000 words. Someone told me today they tried uploading 75,000 words and it broke, but it didn't break at 50. So they might have a different, how they deal with tokens might be different, but it's a lot. You could, The Great Gatsby was 50,000 words. So you can upload an entire novel to that thing and interact with it. Bing.com is Microsoft's version of GPT-4. You can generate images there, and then Poe.com added the ability to upload files. So all 5 of these right now are viable options for this large language model stuff. Claude is free. GPT-4 here costs you $20 a month. Now, up here, chat.openai.com, you get access to this thing called Code Interpreter, which is fucking mind-blowing. However, the fact that you can now upload files to Claude and to Bard and to Poe, you can do a fair amount of what Code Interpreter is doing, but Code Interpreter is still leagues above what these other things are doing with files. But holy crap, what a day. Then... Oh, wait. So let me talk about 2 other things. So prompts.chat is it's a Google Doc, basically. And it will teach you, if you haven't played with ChatGPT or any of these tools, it will teach you about prompting and how the prompting works, how these large language models work. And it also gives you a whole list of examples of personas that you can tell these things to act like act like an accountant, act like a script supervisor. During the writer's strike, it's probably a little insensitive, but writer's going to write. But you'll really get a good sense of how deep and powerful these tools are, and that they're way beyond a Google search. They're profoundly beyond that. And then Futurepedia.io, that's just a big old list of whatever you call it, AI tools, because I can't keep up with them anymore. I'm just trying to keep up with where you can actually go start playing with these things. Like all 5 of these are viable options right now. And I haven't mentioned Pi, and I haven't mentioned Elon Musk's X.AI, which there's something coming for that tomorrow. So anyway, if you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. You can ask the people that are here. I really do try to answer them all. I will get behind, and it will seem like I'm not answering them, and people are like, I don't think he's really live. I think he's a bot. I think this is just a pre-recorded situation. People get very high and mighty in here with theories about whether I'm live or not. But if I weren't live, could I do this? No. Okay. Why is it called ChatGPT? Well, because it's kind of a chat bot. I think ChatGPT is a bad name, but everyone knows it now, so tough. I think we're stuck with it. I think it's going to be like Xerox, or just that's what people call these things. AI chatbots for the past decade have been the bane of my existence, because everyone's like, oh, chatbots are going to be so big, and chatbots are exciting. And chatbots were just like phone voicemail trees that you typed into. Because I don't know what it is about. I have a particular talent for the minute I'm typing into a pre-programmed tree, I break it, and it's like, I don't know how to answer you. So chatbots were a fucking disaster. They were incredibly labor intensive to create. they basically had to anticipate all of the scenarios and write all of the copy for all of the scenarios. They were incredibly intensive to write. Now with ChatGPT, you can actually have those conversations. So I think that's why they called it that. The GPT part is generative pre-trained transformer. Transformer is the technology that Google invented that everyone else is using to do all this remarkable shit. Pre-trained means it's pre-trained in the case of these things on essentially all of the internet, all of the public internet, and generative means it's generating stuff. So I wish it had a better name, but it doesn't. What are your thoughts on the news agency like Associated Press partnering with OpenAI? So I've got like 14 tabs on my browser just as people are talking about this. That's a huge fucking deal. So if you don't know, OpenAI and the Associated Press announced a partnership today. I think it's a huge deal. OpenAI removed ChatGPT's connection to the internet 5 days ago now, 6 days ago, and they haven't put it back. And they removed it because it was pulling content from behind paywalls. So it was effectively publishing content that should be paid for free. So they pulled it down. And then today they announced a deal with the AP. I would not be at all surprised if they announce a deal with Time Inc. and probably some other big publishers. My suspicion here is that this is total speculation. My suspicion is Microsoft is running interference with them. And they're basically saying to OpenAI, hey, we love your technology. We're transforming our company around it. But, let's not go ahead and piss off Microsoft's biggest clients. So why don't we start cutting some deals with our major clients and major publishers who have a vested interest in this. So my instinct is this AP deal is the first of many. I think companies that cut these kind of content deals are going to be in a catbird seat, right? Because if ChatGPT is the place where you can go ChatGPT official AP stories, then lots of people are going to trust that. Lots of people are going to use that. So I think it's absolutely fascinating. If you go look at the history of the Edison cylindrical record player and the flat one, Edison's was technologically superior, but he didn't cut content deals. The flat one, technologically inferior, but he cut content deals with like the most famous opera singers of the day. And that's why we have flat record players rather than cylindrical ones. Probably it was also probably more convenient, but whatever. So content's really important. So I think this is a huge deal. That's one of the many things. Like the news today and the fact that we went from essentially two major players and kind of a third one dicking around where you kind of had Claude models at Poe.com, but you had to go to Poe, which didn't make any sense. Now the fact that they rolled that out and then Bard all of a sudden just doesn't suck today. It's like, whoo, good Lord. I checked out Bard when they announced it. It's greatly improved. I know, right, Jenna? It's like I mean, every time I went to use Bard before where they're like, there's a new version of Bard, I'm like, awesome, that's a piece of stinky shit. And not today. Not today. So I can't keep up with this shit anymore. All right. Are people just too disconnected with themselves? They need an AI to talk to. Well, wait, carp tatrum? Carp diem? I don't know, whatever your name is. No. So these are not just chatbots like you. If you haven't played with one, Carp Tatrum, go there now. Go to prompts.chat and read about what prompting is and how these things work. And go to ChatGPT or Claude or Bard.google.com. Go to any of them and start playing with them. This is not just like, hey Fred, how you doing? Oh, I'm great, Kyle. How are you? Boy, I'm really lonely, but now with my fake chatbot, I'm even better. It's not that. I mean, there's going to be digital companionship fueled by these things, but these things write screenplays. These things, which is one of the reasons the Writers Guild is striking right now. These things code. These things write marketing plans, business plans, marketing copy. They are remarkable. They are remarkably powerful tools, and so I would strongly encourage you to go start playing with them, start to get educated about what they are and what they make possible. And once you start to get your head around it, take whatever you're good at and have it start doing that for you, or being an assistant for you to do the kind of stuff you know about. And that's when your mind will probably go. And that's the moment when the adventure begins, where you're like, holy shit, really? Is this gonna take I've been doing this for 30 years. What do I do now? That's what we're all having to deal with. All right. In the time you were gone, Bard planned my anniversary trip with great extras. Impressed. That's awesome, Silver Fox. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I think this is really, really fascinating stuff, because, ChatGPT's been in the catbird seat for 7 months now, December to July. And while there were other things out there, they just seemed on the edge. And then all of a sudden, there were a couple of chinks in the armor, right? There were, they pulled back Browse with Bing. They pulled back the connection to the internet. There was another lawsuit that was announced. And then Inflection comes out, that's Pi.ai if you want to go play with the Inflection version of these things. And that's Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, and the guy, I forget his name, who was one of the founders of DeepMind, created Inflection. But Microsoft also invested big into Inflection. So Microsoft not only is invested into OpenAI, but they're invested into Inflection. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe it's not such an exclusive deal. Maybe they're not so hitched at the hip, and Microsoft's hedging its bets. So it's just amazing. Like I feel like we're in the middle of a power swing right now, where we're going to find out a month or two from now. Like, this list, in my opinion, probably goes back to 3. I've only had 3 on there. Now I've got 5. My gut tells me this list goes to 6 or 7, and it's just boiling for a while, and then it'll kind of, it'll sort of drop back to a top 3. But we'll see. That's amazing. Okay, let's see what else you got here. You're not live. Definitely not Scott Thickner. 7:59. Well, Mr. Thickner, it's Scott Thickner. Thicker than you know. 7:59. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not live, Scotty. Definitely not live, and certainly not qualified. We've talked about that for days in a row now. Okay. Hello, Apocrypha. I know what that means now. You're not live. Yes, I am, Scott. Please stop antagonizing me. It's very hurtful. I'm so triggered. I hate being triggered by Scotty. Scotty's triggered me. I used Claude AI for the first time to give it a PDF of my syllabus and update the dates. Oh, wow. Did it do it? Oh, that's so cool. Did it let you re-download it? That's pretty slick. There's a really slick use case that Professor Sonia put in there. Upload something that has a bunch of dates in it. Say, change the dates to this year. Starting on whatever. Out they come. That's super cool. Moving so fast. It's moving so fast. I'm an information hoarder and love ChatGPT. I'm addicted. So I'm a total data hoarder. I've got somewhere here. Do I have it nearby? Oh yeah, right back here. I've got just a suitcase full of hard drives, and I'm never going to throw them out. Will I ever plug them back in? I don't know. With these tools now, we're going to be able to take all the data we've ever hoarded and just dump it into the data bucket and start interacting with it. I took a screenplay I wrote years ago, and I had it in PDF on my hard drive, and I uploaded it to Claude today. And I just uploaded the screenplay and then said, write a log line, a synopsis, and a character sheet. And it just went, bop, 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 bop. And then it was perfect. It's like, it's just amazing. Like, it's just, they act as an assistant. Yeah, that's a really good point, LR Patrick. It's a good way to think about these tools. Someone was asking before, like, are they chatbots? Are they virtual companions? What it's more like, what these are very much like, is like you've got an idiot savant as your personal intern or your personal assistant or like a creative collaborator. The idiot part is it's completely dumb. It'll just do whatever you tell it, and if you give it shitty instructions, it'll give you shitty results, right? Like a new intern that doesn't know your business or doesn't know who you are. So you got to tell it what to do. You're like, okay, intern, now you're going to act like a Stanford mathematics professor, and it's like, okay. And I'm gonna put a formula in front of you, and you're gonna figure it out for me. Okay, it'll figure it out for you. So it's very much like that. And I think where these things go is toward being assistants for us. So I think that's actually where they're headed. Where we don't have to, like right now, you have to do this thing called prompt engineering. And I think one of the things that you're going to start to experience with these tools, especially as these guys start to compete, is they're going to make it easier and easier and easier for people to put in a minimum amount of input for a maximum amount of output. Like, for example, these things are very shortly going to start to remember who we are, what our preferences are, and probably even the history of all of our conversations, so that we can refer to conversations we had 2 months ago, is likely where these things are going, and probably pretty quickly. What's the best way to generate t-shirt graphics? You just need to start playing around with your prompting and using things like graphic illustrations, flat graphics, things like that. Let me show you some. So go to openart.ai/promptbook, and you'll see this thing here. It's the Stable Diffusion prompt book, but you can use this for Midjourney. You can use it for Stable Diffusion. You can use it for Adobe Firefly. This is really just more a primer, and it will. This document is the best thing that I've seen. Like this thing came out, I don't know when it came out, but I discovered it kind of the end of 2022, and I still haven't really seen anything as clear as this. So it's like a 96-page PowerPoint presentation that just talks about these image generation tools. It talks about prompt engineering, defines it, gives you a whole bunch of things to do. Here's an intro, here's how it works. Here's prompt formats. So like, do you want a photo or a painting? What's the subject? Do you want special lighting? Do you want an environment? Do you want a color scheme, point of view, background? Is there a specific style? So this, for you, if you're talking about doing t-shirt graphics, you want, simple graphic flat colors, you can describe that. So as I go through here, there's modifiers, things like it understands photographic terms. Like, so there's a table of a bunch of different photographic terms, like, tilt shift and Polaroid and long exposure and color splash and GoPro. It understands lighting. It understands art mediums, so chalk, graffiti, watercolors, clay sculptures. It understands different artists and, the styles that they paint in. Mixed media. So here you get into illustration, right? So the different illustration types. And so these start to be things like well, there was one. This one here, comic book style, starts to look a little t-shirty and just, so start learning all of these different terms that give you those examples. If you're using Midjourney, and I would suggest Midjourney, go to the Midjourney Discord. That's where you have to make the images anyway. And there's prompt libraries in there, and there's all sorts of people in there. I would imagine that there are, sub communities within the Midjourney server that are doing T-shirts and can probably help you with that. So, hope that helps. And by the way, if you're new here, do me a favor, if you would, share the live with your folks if you think it's worth sharing. And maybe we can get some more folks in here. And we'll get this party started. I'd say we're decently started at this point. We're going. We're rolling. We're rolling. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Got any predictions or thoughts regarding the FTC's investigation into OpenAI? That's yet another news story that dropped tonight. Not yet. Like, it's just they've just announced an investigation. When someone like OpenAI pulls a major feature like Browse with Bing, something that's co-branded with Microsoft, and they pull it, there's some shit boiling behind the scenes that we're not privy to. There's some big players tossing around big lawyer money saying we're going to fuck some shit up. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that the FTC is investigating them. I think what we're going to see we're kind of entering... We're entering what I assumed we would see right about now. We're entering a kind of panic phase about AI. And I think if you listen to the Screen Actors Guild, the speeches from them starting their strike today, one of the big things that they talked about was the studios came back and they said, okay, they want anyone who's an extra in a movie, background actors, ones without lines. They want to be able to pay them for one flat day rate, and then use their likeness in perpetuity for any project in the future. Never have to tell them, never have to pay them again. So that's a fundamental existential threat to that business model. So I think what you're going to start to see in all sorts of businesses, from consulting to advertising agencies to creative arts to and everything in between and everything on the outside of that, is companies are going to start realizing, holy shit, our business model might not exist in a year or two. And one of the reactions to existential threats is defensiveness, right? Sue them, shut it down, make them turn it off. So I think this is very powerful players exercising their United States granted rights to sue the fucking bejesus out of everyone. As ways to hedge against a future they probably know is coming. I think that OpenAI is going to be in good shape to survive it because they've got Microsoft as a partner, right? This is a major player in the economy. They've got major connections, they've got major lobbyists. So what I suspect will happen is OpenAI will start cutting big licensing deals with big publishers and pay them some amount of the profits. And then at some point they'll just cut it off and say, if you're below that line, you can come sue us. But we've cut all of our big deals. So that's what I feel like is going on, but that's 1,000% speculation. Is there a list of the best AI sites? Yeah, Futurepedia.io. Well, it's not the best. So my list of sites right here this is if you want to get started with generative AI, just start with ChatGPT or any of these other four. These are all viable options to really start to get your head around what's possible. Futurepedia.io is a list of just like all the AI tools that are out there. There's probably 4,000 at this point. There are like 3,700 at the beginning of the week. They're adding to it like an insane amount of tools a day. There are some like top 10 kind of services and content sites. I don't really follow them all, but I would just go there and go for the top rated ones, the ones that have been there the longest, the ones that, there's going to be a lot of stuff there that's just crap, but you'll be able to find some stuff there. What's the criteria for your list there? Those are just the ones you're discussing on live. So my criteria is, it used to be just 3 of them, and it was really just 3 different ways to play with ChatGPT. Because the top one and Bing and Poe all have GPT-4 in them, but Bing is free, but it's not really as good. Poe has a bunch of other things like Claude built into it, and it's got bots which are really interesting. And then OpenAI is the inventor of ChatGPT, so it's just the best right now. And then literally in the past day and a half, Claude AI launched, and it's good. It's really good. It's like close to ChatGPT-4, and the site's good, the interface is good. And then Bard, which was horrible for a long, long time now, 6 months, all of a sudden they relaunched bard.google.com, and it's good. It's really good. It's like, so all of a sudden there are now major competitors to ChatGPT. So that's why this list is here. Prompts.chat is just a place to teach yourself prompting, and then Futurepedia is just a big long list of tools. So that's all this is just here as, if you're wondering where to get started, it's why I put these here. I'm not affiliated with any of them. I don't give a shit if you use them. I don't give a shit if you buy subscriptions. At some point, some of them should knock on my door and go, "Hey, you talk about us a lot. That's swell. Here's a Starbucks gift card." But they haven't done that yet. Qualifications. I don't need those stinking qualifications. I know nothing. I know nothing about AI. You stinky people. Nothing. Is AI going to make our brains more lazy after a while? Rain Ninja, by the way, good name. Good avatar. I don't think so. I think it goes the opposite direction. I've been compulsively obsessed with generative AI since probably about this time last year. It started with a project called Pixelmind, then Stable Diffusion, then ChatGPT came out in November. So I've been in this. I have never in my life been more creatively alive and inspired and activated. And the reason is this: there's a counterintuitive thing that happens with these. So what they do and what people talk about them doing is, oh, it wrote the paper, right? So the human's just a lazy asshole and the machine wrote the paper. It's not really how it works. A human being said, I have a thing I want to write and I want you to write it. And then lazy human beings just hand off that piece of paper. But all the creatives that I know that are using these tools are using them more like a collaborative tool. So what I'm finding is that rather than having writer's block, or rather than having to spend 2 hours getting to a first draft, I can get to a first draft in about 30 seconds. That's about 80% of what I want. And as you get better at prompting, when I first started working with this stuff, I was getting things that were consistently at 60% of what I wanted, and it was really frustrating, and it took me a while. And as you get better at prompting, you're like, oh, I have an idea for something, and you figure out, okay, I got to write these 4 or 5 elements into the prompt. And it's weird because you think like, I'm writing as much copy into the prompt as what I'm going to get out of it. But you start to figure it out. And then you get it right. And what comes out is like 80, 85%, 90% of what you want. And then you just go in and tweak it and edit it. So what it's doing for me is, you know how in any given day you've got some amount of hours of creative output and then the brain just shuts down? And for me, it's probably somewhere between 4 and 6. If I'm particularly hyper focused on something, it can go longer. But I've generally got like 4 to 6 hours a day where I can crank out some shit. A lot of days it's a lot lower. Before, when I would work, I might spend 3.5 of the 4 hours I had for that day just getting to the starting line. And what's happening now is I get to the starting line in 10 or 15 minutes, and then I have like the rest of those 4 hours to like refine it or come up with new ideas. So I'm finding that in the space of the time I would have had gotten one idea to a decent level of completion, I've now got 2 or 3 things completed and like 10 new things started. So it's completely transforming my relationship with writer's block and with creative block and doing block. You know, as an ADDer, I have zero executive function. I have a block of cheese for my frontal lobe. And so it's kind of taking over a lot of that function, and it's like a fucking magic trick. It's amazing. So no, I think it goes the other way. I think we get more creative, more self-expressed, more expert, but we're still the pilot. It's the co-pilot. So we still get to drive the thing. Can other people get your files you uploaded? Which files? Which files did I upload? I don't know what you're talking about, Tobias. Let me know and I'll figure it out. Oh my God, I have so many hard drives going back to Windows 95 and Macintosh, though. I know, I do too. I've got, look. This was the online magazine I created in 1994, and this, for you Gen Xers, is a SideQuest drive. And for those of you that are too young to know what that was, I hate you. But that is 45 megabytes of hard drive platter goodness that you would shove into a SideQuest drive. And that's my, that was my web magazine back in the 90s. So yeah, I got scads of that shit. Am I getting rid of it? No. I might need it someday. You know that outline I wrote for that article that we never published in 1995? Yeah, I'm going to need that someday. Total digital hoarder. Did you try prompting to pitch it to Netflix? Did I try prompting what? Oh, to pitch my screenplay to Netflix because there's a writer's strike? I should. I got 7 of them. I don't think I should be a scab. I've got too many people that are WGA and SAG members. I'm SAG eligible. I had a small role in New Jack City back in the 80s. Is that 80s? Late 80s, early 90s? Kind of like Google did for search engines. I think I know what you're talking about there. Well, welcome everybody. We've got some new people here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. This list of URLs right here is just, there has been an explosion of competition in the Chat GPT space in the past 2 days. So this was a list of 3 sites, the top part of it, for, I don't know, a month and a half. And in the past 2 days, I've added 2 more sites to it. So go play with any of those. The top one is the official ChatGPT website. Bard is Google's version of it. Claude AI is Anthropic's. Bing is ChatGPT, but it's Microsoft's flavor of it. I watched the clip you shared on the AI agency created by teens, to build a product for free. Isn't that insane? I'm telling you, I've had 2, I mentioned this in that video, but in the past week, I've had 2 senior people at major pharmaceutical companies, like as I'm talking about AI and what we do at Storyvine and, my thoughts on what's coming, have volunteered to me. We've gone to our agencies and said, hey, this stuff's coming. What are you going to do about it? And the agency's response was, we'll come teach you how to use it. But when the client said to the agency, well, what are you going to do with it? They're like, well, we do what we do, and you don't need to be bothered with that. We're just going to keep charging you for the 50 junior people writing, social media copy at $150 an hour. Clients are not going to put up with it. So there's I just feel like there's this reckoning coming, where it's every time there's a new technology like this, it first gets derided. Oh, that's stupid. It's overhyped. It's going to kill us. It's dumb. I don't know, man. It's just, here's the positive side of it. There is such opportunity right now to obliterate big companies who are going to sit back and say, I'll take a wait and see attitude to this pesky AI stuff. We've got a 30-year relationship with that pharmaceutical company, so that relationship's not going in. What do you mean we're putting review? What's happening? That's coming. And that's coming everywhere. So you're either working for one of those companies that gets smacked upside the head, or you're one of the companies that smacks them upside the head. Kyle, can't believe you started without me. I know, Troy, right? It was so rude of me. Although I started 3 times tonight. There was the first time the app just crashed. The second time I wasn't ready. I had to change my shirt. Then the internet crapped out. Then, I don't know. Just, So my apologies, Troy. This really is your channel. And I should be much more respectful in the future. And I will. I'll do my best. Cheers. Have you messed around with asking a question, having AI write it 4 different ways and getting 4 different results each? Yes. Yes. Having AI write it 4 different ways and getting 4 different results each. Yes, absolutely. Finding alike content and delivering the best ranked out of those 16. That's actually a really good approach. We did a thing last night on the live judged. Judged is his or her name, Judged Gear. We did a thing last night where I wrote a prompt because someone said, "Can ChatGPT write a joke?" And I said, "No." Like it understands what jokes are, but it ain't funny. And so we went and we took the exact same prompt and did it in all these different models. And ChatGPT was the only one that wrote an actual joke that you could actually kind of have edited and turned into a joke. The worst one was Bing. And then the rest were just bad. And then some were really disturbing. Like the one joke was, because the premise of the joke was, write a joke about how avocados go from being unripe to rotten, in this really short window or whatever it was. And I which one was it? Was it Claude? I don't know. I think it was Claude. No, it was Claude or Sage. I think it was Claude. And it said, avocados are just like children. They start out rock hard. And I was like, no. It sort of had the right setup and the right punchline, but the middle of it was just wrong and disturbing and weird and it was just bizarre. But ChatGPT actually wrote a pretty good joke. But yeah, that's actually a really good idea. And the other thing you can do, I assume you've done it, Judged, you can have it write those 4 results in a table that you can then just copy and paste into a Google Sheet. And it's already, formatted for the table. Have you figured out how to make money with AI yet? Been playing with AI for months. You can make money with ChatGPT. Yeah, I've figured out how to make money with AI. I've got it rolled into my company right now. We're out there pitching it. I've been doing some paid speaking gigs. I've been doing some paid workshops. Right now, I'm not looking to start a business around AI because too much is changing too fast, and I have my company to run. But I think it's critically important, at least for me, to be as educated as I can and just keep building. So I'm building content generation engines. I'm helping people that are like, hey, I'm starting something. Can you give me a hand here? I'm doing that kind of stuff with it. The trick with here's my little soapbox for you can make money with ChatGPT. Making money with an AI tool is no different than making money with Photoshop, and it's no different than making money with a shovel. They're all tools, right? Even these are tools. Now, these happen to be the most powerful tools in the history of humanity. So there's some things you can do with these tools that are kind of a quantum leap above, right? 10, 20, 30x the results that you would get if you did it without these tools. But you still need to solve a problem. And that's the business. How you make money with tools is you say, hey, I know how to use Photoshop so good that if you're trying to make a poster for your music festival, I'm your guy. Come see me. I'll make you music posters. And then that's not just making money with Photoshop. That's making money with my knowledge and my life experience and my design skills and this and that. And I happen to be using Photoshop as the tool. Same thing with these. So what I would lean into if I were you is learn the shit out of these. Learn what they make possible. Start playing with Midjourney and Stable Diffusion and Adobe Firefly and generating images. Start learning what's possible with the music tools and with the animation tools and with the film tools. Just everything you can get your hands on. Get, curiously ravenous. And then start talking about it. Post it on your LinkedIn. Tell your friends about it at dinner parties, even if they think you're a fucking weirdo. Mine do. You don't think they think I'm a fucking weirdo? Look at the hair. Look at that. That's not normal. I've got no credentials. 0 qualifications. But start talking to people about it, because we are entering a phase right now, especially now that there's like really viable competitors to ChatGPT. I think we're going to quickly see an acceleration where these tools start to proliferate into all of the tools that we're already using. And so if you can be one of the people that when someone goes, I need to figure this shit out, who should I talk to about? Oh, you know who I should talk to? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Cute. Be the guy they come to. Because there's a guy named Paul Reitzer from the Marketing AI Institute, and he says, AI is not going to take your job, but someone using AI will. So be that person. The video was used by dopeconsulting.ai. Wait, the video? Which video, Miss Birch? What are you talking about? Wait. Oh, you're talking amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I love when you talk amongst yourselves. You entertain yourselves, because I don't get to the questions soon enough, do I? No, I don't. You don't. You never got to my question. I don't even think he's live. Do you think he's live? I don't think he's live. I think this is a recording. You know what I think it is? I bet he's ChatGPT 5. He could be 6. He could be a spy. I bet he's Chinese. We're on TikTok. I bet he's a Chinese AI avatar spy, and we're on TikTok. I don't know that we should be on TikTok, Marge. I don't. Oh, by the way, I'm an idiot. My workflow is very much like yours. Not as frustrating as it was pre-planning. So much easier. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just something. It's just something. This stuff is something. Thank you for changing your shirt. You're welcome. Good evening, Emilio's wife. What's happening? Good to see you. Thank you for the heads up on Elon. I could pop over. So let me pop over and show you all the tabs I opened up just for all the news. And I've missed, like, there's news I don't have in here. All right. Let's see if they brought back Browse with Bing. I don't think they have. Where's my mousy mouse? Beta features. Nope. Browse with Bing's not back. Okay, so there's ChatGPT. This was king of the mountain. And then all of a sudden, here's Bard. Looks a lot like Poe. It looks like they did a little interface thieving from Poe. But let's see. Create a table comparing Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg from a business and martial arts perspective. Let's see what it does. One thing I've noticed about Bard that's interesting is it doesn't show you like the other ones sort of show you that they're writing, and Bard just sort of thinks. It's got like this little twirly twinkle thing, and then it just delivers your thing. So it says, sure, here, martial arts experience. Elon Musk trained in judo, karate, and taekwondo as a child. Mark Zuckerberg, no formal training. That's not true, actually. He's been doing a lot of taekwondo or a lot of jiu-jitsu lately. Business experience. Net worth, 215 billion, 67 billion, 51. They're both, one's 51, one's 52, same age. Notable achievements, style, strengths. So that's Bard. Bard's good now. You can upload files to Bard. You can upload images to Bard and have it analyze them, which is really interesting. You can't upload CSVs to Bard, but I assume that'll come. So that's Bard. Then you've got your Bing. You got your Bing, which is GPT-4. If you go to Bing and then click on chat, you've got more creative, more balanced, more precise. You can analyze images here. You can... it's connected to the internet. You can say to Bard, make me an image of Musk and Zuck as cartoon characters in a cage match in Vegas. And it should pop up a thing to say, I'll try to make that for you. I can help you with that. Here's your generative image. Oops, try another prompt. Looks like some words might be blocked. Jerks. Oh, fight. Okay, wait. Oh, cage match. What's blockable in that? All right, we'll just do Zuck and Musk as cartoon characters. And it looks like these guys have changed their interface for the image. No, I guess you can't. They don't want you doing those people. Fine. Oh, they're trying to prevent deep fakes. Yeah, we're coming into election. Make me an image of a 70s muscle car as a cartoon. So this interface has changed. So it's like these things are evolving daily. Oh no, there it goes. That's what we saw before. That's the same interface. Never mind. So those are pretty cool. All right, so that's that. So that's Bing. So then you got Claude, and Claude is very much like GPT-4. You can upload up to 5 files of 10 megabytes each. You can say, write me a poem about, explaining quantum mechanics as an Eminem rap. And the reason I do this one is to see if it can do rhyme schemes. Listen up to the story I'm about to tell about quantum physics and how electrons dwell in superposition, which means they can be in so many places simultaneously, G. It ain't bad. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, uncertainty, the Heisenberg name, the more you know, a particle's speed. Okay, that was bad. Completely missed it there. So, again, not as good as GPT-4, but really powerful. Then you have Pi.ai. And this one is the one from a company called Inflection that just raised $1.3 billion, Series B. $1.3 billion to buy 20,000 GPUs and create a massive supercomputer cluster to train all this shit. And this one is, let's see, explain quantum physics as if I am 7. Okay, I'll try to keep it simple. Quantum physics is about how very, very tiny things behave, things that are smaller than anything in your body. So it's doing its thing. This thing tends to be really, really friendly. They've got it programmed to be friendly. So that's that one. Then you've got Poe. And the reason I'm going through these is like all of these have changed in the past. They've either appeared out of nowhere or they've changed and updated. So Poe, if you remember, if you've been here before, they've got Sage, they've got a Claude model, GPT-4, Claude Instant, and ChatGPT. Well, they've now got Claude 2 and Claude Instant. So Claude 2 is like GPT-4, but it's a 100,000 token context window. So 50, 75,000 words. Then you got GPT-4. You've got all the bots. So Poe's really interesting. The other thing I noticed about Poe the other night, if you go to Explore, you have all these bots. Like one of the bots are AI bots. And the AI bots are things like Midjourney, DALL-E, Prompt Genius. So things that help you with prompting. But what I noticed is that there's official Poe bots. So you've got all the ones that are listed here, those top 6, but you've also got ChatGPT 16K, ChatGPT 4 32K. So on Poe, you can play with ChatGPT 4 with the 32K context window. I don't think that's available anywhere else. You can also play with Google's Palm model here. So Poe's really interesting for that reason. What's this? Oh yeah, this is the story about OpenAI cutting a deal with the Associated Press, which is a huge deal. That's Zapier. Zapier is a big deal. This is Elon Musk's new startup, right? So they've got ChatGPT as the house and X.AI as the tornado that's coming. So I think something's going to be announced on that tomorrow. It says breaking: Elon Musk's new startup just launched their official Twitter account. The slogan is to understand the true nature of the universe. So that's coming. What else do I have here? Oh, GPT-4's infrastructure was leaked, and it's insane. It's not 175 billion parameters. It's 10 times that. It's 1.7 trillion or something like that. There's I think a dozen or 16 different expert systems that when you do whatever you do, when you ask GPT-4, it's sort of calling on these different expert systems. So anyway, so this leaked. So that's out there now. Oh, then Meta, Facebook said so all of the open source models right now are based on an accidental leak from Meta, their llama models, which they said were for research purposes only, so they're not commercially viable. So what Zuckerberg has now said is he thinks he's going to release their competitor to ChatGPT out into the wild with all the weights and commercially licensable and not charge for it. So, holy shit. And then I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I mean, good God. I pay attention to this stuff a lot, and I literally was taking notes today, just trying to keep up with it. I'm like, I got to talk about that tonight. Emilio's wife sent me a DM. Hey, did you hear about Elon? I'm like, no, I haven't heard about Elon. I need more coffee because I'm not quite amped up enough. When you upload a PDF or documents to ChatGPT, to AI to manipulate, can anybody else get them? ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure Anthropic says it. I'm pretty sure Bard says it. They all say we may train on your data. OpenAI has given you the option to opt out of that, but I actually have no idea if you upload a PDF, if it is being stored in anything other than a cache. You should assume the worst, right? I wouldn't put client data there. If you really want to start training and fine-tuning on your own data, then start learning LangChain. So you can create, for my company Storyvine, we just started a LangChain instance so that we can start training on our own data and we can start playing with customer data in a way that is safe. I can't imagine that's going to be for long. Also, the nature of how I understand Code Interpreter to work is that it's creating kind of a standalone virtual machine that it's writing and executing all that Python code within just for your chat instance, and then it wipes it. Because it wipes it like 10 minutes after you use that, it wipes it and you lose all your work. So I'm guessing that they're not storing that, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would assume the worst. I mean, that's the problem with all of these tools right now is they're so new. They're all like shiny new, and like the engineers are like, yeah, we're good to launch. Let's get that thing out there. You sure we checked everything? I put an extra roll of duct tape on it. We're good to go. Oh, here, let me polish that with my elbow. Yep, that's launch ready technology. So it's all like that right now. It's a little concerning, you know. It should be good. It should be fine. Yeah, it's probably not going to torpedo your systems or your company trade secrets. Probably not. It's probably going to do that. You're probably going to. We're all going to die. Oh God. Oh God. All right. Can I search what a competitor could have prompted? Like if they there's a way to do it. I don't know how to do it, but someone did it because someone from Samsung put their trade secrets in the chat and they left their chat history there, and someone hacked them through their chat history. So I don't think they're encrypting what's being stored or what's being sent, and I assume it was done through some sort of packet sniffing situation, but I don't fucking know. I ain't no hacker. I just pretend everything's going to be okay. I just live in oblivion. You look like the guy from Modern Family. I've gotten that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've gotten him. I've gotten Tom Arnold. I've gotten Skinny John Goodman. So I got a lot of Roseanne connections, apparently. I've gotten Rosie O'Donnell. You look like Rosie O'Donnell, which is, again, that's a solid troll because is it a compliment? Yeah. Sorta, yeah. Occasionally, if I'm a bit angry and ragey, I get Nicholson. So yeah. So anyway, thank you. Appreciate that. I want to know how pharmaceuticals are using it for research. Well, so listen. Here's the thing about all this machine learning and AI shit. It's been around for decades. So pharmaceutical companies are using. They've been using AI for research and all this stuff for just years and years and years. The thing that's different is the transformer model, this thing that Google invented in 2017, just completely changed the nature of how these tools work and the scale of data that you can train them on. So when DeepMind created AlphaFold and they generated 400,000, protein models in, what was it, like 3 days or a week or some ridiculously short amount of time. And I think historically it would take you like 2 weeks to do one. and they did like 400,000 of them, and they were largely correct. That's the new stuff, and so I would imagine that they're using them in all sorts of ways. Where we're now starting to hear our clients, the pharmaceutical companies, talk about this stuff is in everyday operations, in marketing in particular. They spend a tremendous amount of money on marketing with these big agencies. So they're trying to figure out, how can we do this? They're trying to figure out, well, rather than having to do a photo shoot, could I just do personas and then create images that look like people, right? And this is where things like, existential threats to things like, photography start to show up, where if an internal group at a pharma company can just generate persona images that look like photographs, they don't need to hire that photographer to go do that photo shoot to have, those pictures of fake patients, who are fake patients anyway. Like, the pharma company doesn't really care. They just want something that's believable for that particular persona so they can talk about a concept or a particular piece of research. Yeah, but I would assume in their medical divisions they're using it in all sorts of profound ways. I think we're going to see a lot of medical innovations in the next 5 years. I'm writing a story right now about AI tech on the farm. AI. Oh, Chris, that's hilarious. That's solid. That's really a dad joke. Not to be sexist, but shouldn't I be saying shit like that? I think I should. Just got on. Oh, hello. Quan O'Donnell. Quan O'Donnell? Is that me? Oh, like as in Rosie. I get it. Does anyone else hear a slight echo? I think you have weird computer speakers and microphones there, Emilio's wife. I think it's time for an upgrade. I think you got to talk to Emilio, and say, listen, I need a more professional setup. We're doing lives. We do them regularly. We're on the tickety-tock. And we got to upgrade the speaker situation. But anyway, if I am echoing, let me know. All clear here. See? His AC's going on in the background. Yeah, it's hot here. I can turn it off. Hang on. See, these are the kind of sacrifices I make for you. You think this is easy? No. We're all in on AI at my gig for a year now. Oh, you're at an agency, Retropunk, aren't you? They get it. However, it's pharma, so also slow. They're also very slow. Yeah, listen, pharma's not going to jump all over this, but I think what pharma's going to do is they're going to get really smart about it and understand it, and then they're going to start demanding that their vendors have a plan. And the IT groups, like I talked to a senior guy who found me on LinkedIn from a big pharma company today, and he's been actively like generating personas, generating marketing copy, generating all sorts of stuff. He's within what used to be their IT group, and it's now a big innovation center of excellence. And he was pretty flippin' educated. Like he was up there. So, and he was also smart enough to know we're not going to use any of this shit until we know what's going on from a security standpoint. But once they have that figured out, I think they're going to be moving pretty fast. And I think they're like, listen, these companies spend a lot of money, and if they could spend $100 million less on advertising fees and get the same amount of work, or better, or more, they're going to push for that. The agencies aren't going to have a say in that. So, anyway, but I mean, listen, congrats to you for working for a place that gets it, because sounds perfect now. Good. What about AI? Oh, XAI. Yeah, XAI is coming. It sounds like there's going to be something tomorrow, right? They launched their Twitter channel today. They made some announcements. Like I saw a couple of news stories come through after you mentioned it, and then it sounds like they're going to do something tomorrow. So I don't know. I just noticed Bard made the list in the background. I know, Vicky, right? Look at my list. It's fucking insane. This has been 3 of these poor little sites for month and a half now. And now there's 5. And I think it's going to go to, I think, I'm going to have to find a new way to display it because it's getting stupid. But I think we're going to have to put pi.ai on here if it gets like one level better. Like right now it's a little simpleton-y. And then I think XAI is going to show up here. And then if Meta launches something that's as good as GPT 3.5, like they're claiming it's better than GPT 3.5, and if they release it commercially available as open source, I think that makes the list. So that would be 7 or 8. I don't know what to do. But, I think they'll whittle their way down. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Endlessly curious. That's me. That is the best. So I think the superpower for the next year to 18 months is curiosity and a sense of adventure. Just think of all of these tools, everything you're learning, everything you're building. Just think of it as a curiosity exercise and an exploration and an adventure, because almost anything that any of us build in the next year is going to be rendered obsolete by some update of something. It doesn't mean you shouldn't build it. It just means you shouldn't be too attached to it, because in building it, you're going to learn a ton, right? You should be playing with automations with tools like Zapier or Make or Bubble if you're a little more technically oriented, which is sort of low code rather than no code. And just start understanding what these tools make possible and how they change what you know about. How do they transform what you already do or what you already know? Yeah, by the way, give me a follow if you want to. I've got a bunch of content on my TikTok, and if you follow me, I think you get notified when I go live. Do I have to pay Midjourney to generate a picture? You can generate, I think, like 20 before you have to pay. Midjourney's the one image generation tool I pay for. Although, we pay for the Adobe suite. My business pays for that for me. So I've also got the Adobe Firefly and generative fill in Photoshop Beta. But Midjourney's the one that I feel is worth paying for. If you really don't want to pay for it and you're decently geeky beer hunter, then start playing around with Stable Diffusion. Go to the subreddits for Stable Diffusion and just start learning about Google Colab and setting up automatic 1111 and installing the extensions, because Stable Diffusion is by far the most flexible and powerful. Because it's open source and the developer community is just pouncing on it. But Midjourney, for me, is the best one. It's just the quality is just consistently jaw-dropping. Consistently jaw-dropping. It's fucking insane. Let me see. I'll show you one I did. Oh, that's one. This is that one. That's a beautiful image. This is one that I did. That's a Midjourney image. I mean, just stunning. Look at those things. This one I posted to LinkedIn, the one with the VW bus. I mean, look at that. That was a cool one. That was one where I had, one of the things you can have Midjourney do is you can have it describe another image, and then you take its description and use that as a prompt. And so I took a description of cruise liners, and these are some of the images that came out of the cruise liner one. But then for just some random fucking reason, it made a VW bus. So I got these cruise liners, which are stunning. Like, don't get me wrong, those are beautiful, but that one is just magical. It's just like, like I want to be surfing there. That's like California dreaming, baby. You know. So like that modern art image. This is Midjourney. These are some ones from the AI salon that I run. These are all Midjourney that were made in the server here. So yeah, cool stuff. Chat go. Okay. Go. I don't know what you mean. What does chat go mean? Is that another Chat GPT competitor that launched today? I can't take it anymore. I don't have room left on my billboard. Please tell me there's not a chat go. Please. I wish AI could organize my life. It probably can. In fact, I know it can. You can. If you're paying for ChatGPT Plus, you could upload a bunch of disorganized data and tell it to parse it and organize it into a spreadsheet that you can download. Tell it how to order it. Tell it to tell you what it found, suggest ways to categorize it and organize it, and then tell it to put it in a CSV file so you can download it, and it'll do that. So now, if you're like me, if you want AI to help you organize the crap around your desk, then if you're anything like me, we need the robot. We need Elon's robot to do that shit. The digital stuff it can do. The physical stuff, ChatGPT couldn't come up with a do like that. No, exactly. That is like a fucking raccoon lost a fight. Whew, that's bad. That's bad. Love Kyle in character. Half the reason I watch every night. Keep up the good work, Kyle. Keep up the overacting, Kyle. You've chewed the scenery beautifully tonight. You can take a man off the stage, but you can't help him from overacting. Isn't that how the saying goes? Pretty sure that's it. Ooh. All right, Meta Victory, what do you have to say? You added Bard to the board. I know. I've been bad-mouthing Bard for a fucking month. More, longer than that. I've been bad-mouthing Bard ever since that French. Did you see that when they did when OpenAI did their thing and all of a sudden everyone was like, holy shit, ChatGPT's the thing, and Google was like, we're having an event in Paris and we're going to announce all of our AI that we have magically done it all. And then this one woman gets up to demo something, and she's like, okay, here I am going to demo this with the demo phone. Where's the demo phone? What? Oh, we lost it? Okay, I guess we're not going to demo it. It was fucking embarrassing. And then they did another one 2 months later, and it was fine, but they didn't really announce anything. It was just like a whole event of, we do AI too. Here's a tool with AI. This has always had AI, but we're adding more. And then, they launched Bard and it sucked. And then they relaunched Bard after that and it sucked. And so I've just been fucking bad-mouthing it for months and months and months. And people would come in, why isn't Bard on the list? I'm like, because it sucks. But I also said, to my credit, don't count Google out, because there's some smart motherfuckers with a lot of money, and they invented this stuff. And some of the tech that they've showed, like Style Drop, is really impressive. So today they dropped it, and it's good. So there you go. This is again, we're really early, but this is here's the deal for all of us, just regular folk. All us chillins out here just waiting for these guys to come up with more remarkable tools to play with. This is really good news. When you have 5 major competitors, and it's likely that there's going to get 3 more added to that list, and there's probably 3 to 5 more we don't even know about that are in stealth right now, this is going to be some insane shit. If you think this is just hype and this is blowing over and you've got 3 years to figure it out, Nope. What's your thought on Google Bard? I just gave it. I thought it was a giant steaming pile of poo, and now it is a legitimate competitor to all the others. Never mind, you're using it already. Zuckerberg is 39. Well, these things hallucinate, RM. RM Walter. Yes. By the way, if you're new to this stuff and you're playing with this and you're like, hey, wait a minute, Zuckerberg's 39. Yeah, I thought that seemed old, but I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, he is 39. That's right. So these things do what's called hallucinating. And hallucinating is basically just, it'll outright lie. I like to describe it as mansplaining as a service. I didn't invent that, but it's my favorite it's my favorite name for these large language models. The way they do what they do is quite remarkable. So when you write a prompt, it basically turns it into a mathematical weighting and says, okay, based on that prompt, I'm going to run the math. And based on all that math, the next most probable word as a response is the. And then it's going to take all of that plus the word the, and it's going to run a new piece of math and say the next most logical word after the is pony. And it'll write pony. So when you see it write 3 or 4 paragraphs for you in, 2 seconds, it's doing it word by word. What's remarkable about what it does is it looks like it's sentient, right? It looks like it understands what the fuck it's talking about. But it literally has no concept of what it just wrote. Like, all it knows, it's literally a calculator putting mathematical probabilities that are tied to a string of letters that are the word all in a row. There will be new versions of this where it's conscious of what it said, but they're not right now. So what ends up happening is if you just tell it to give you a fact, it'll give you a fact. And that fact may or may not be a fact. So it's perfect for conspiracy theories. It's hilarious. He's very ripped these days. Thank you. I don't. Oh, you meant Zuckerberg. Damn it. Oh, dang it. PyTorch or TensorFlow? I don't know. That shit's above my pay grade. I don't know enough about mathematics to use TensorFlow. I tried to use it. 5 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to learn machine learning. And I was like, I don't have a degree from Stanford. I'm whiny. And then ChatGPT came out and I'm like, I can use words for programming. I could do that shit. So I don't know. Probably TensorFlow. I'm just going with TensorFlow because it's Google, and I feel like if it's from a technical perspective, Google's got their shit together. Bing is bad at physics, trust me. Doesn't surprise me at all. What you should play with, RM, is play with Code Interpreter, ChatGPT's Code Interpreter, and see if it's bad at physics, because I bet it's not, because what it's actually doing is it's writing Python code to fulfill whatever your request is, and then it's running that Python code within a virtual machine, checking its answer, and if it gets it wrong or it times out or it can't figure it out, it'll come up with new models to run. So my guess is Code Interpreter is going to be better at physics than Bing. Bing is also, when we did the little joke writing exercise yesterday, Bing was laughably bad. It was as if someone at Microsoft wrote a joke. It was bad. I know there's probably some Microsoft lovers in here, but tough. I'm an Apple fanboy, and I can bash on Microsoft all I want. I've been like a fucking ad for them for the past 6 months. They give me the official Bing site, comments on my videos sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, hanging out with the bros at Microsoft. Me and Redmond, we're like this. Can you explain that? Licensable but free. Yes. So, okay. So, when Meta... So ChatGPT did what it did, got to 100 million users in 6 weeks, and then Google freaked out and said, we've got AI too. And they made all these announcements, and then their tech was really shitty. Meta jumped on the bandwagon and said, well, I know we told you this metaverse thing was going to be really big, and in fact, we renamed our company around it. Anyway, let's just put that to the side for a second. Anyway, we're great at this AI stuff too. I don't know if you knew that, but we've got engineers and scientists, and my goodness, there's so much AI here you probably don't even know. So that was going on. And they took their their weaker llama models, their 7 billion and their 13 billion parameter llama models, and they gave them to the developer community and said, here, you can use these for experimental purposes, for non-commercial purposes. And they gave them what's called the weights. So they basically gave them the secret sauce. So right now, OpenAI and Google, their models, they have not released the actual core underlying model that runs it so that, the geeks can get in there and figure out how they did what they did. Meta did, but they're not to be used for commercial purposes. So the open source community has been building all sorts of models on top of them, but you can't really use them for commercial purposes. So what Zuckerberg said today is that they've got a 30 or 35 billion model, or 65, I don't know. They've got some decent size, I think it's 30 billion parameter model that they claim is better performing than GPT 3.5. And rather than license it or launch their own ChatGPT, he says he thinks they're just going to put it out into the world with a free commercial license. So what it means is you've got the core underlying model. You can do anything you want with it. You can build anything you want on it. You don't have to put any safety guardrails on it. You can do anything. And you can use it commercially. So it means me as an open source developer could take that model, build a whole company like ChatGPT around it. And I could say, hey, we're going to do the... if they're going to be safe with AI, I'm going to give you a ChatGPT where you can do all the evil stuff in the world, and I'm going to build a whole company around that. You could do that with that, and you could monetize it, and that would not violate their terms of service. So that's the thing where the nature of the license is the thing that's different, where for research only or for commercial purposes, and it's a huge deal because the open source community is taking these weaker models and using some really creative techniques, using GPT-4 with like $100 in compute cost. They're fine tuning these things to be as good as GPT 3.5. So it's nuts. It's just nuts. If Meta does that, the speed of innovation is going to get even more insane. Because now people are going to be throwing money at it. Like right now, you've got a bunch of open source developers doing it for the love of the game. But if Meta says, here's something that's as good as GPT 3.5 for free that you can use commercially, the money is going to come flooding into the market. And the innovation is going to just... It's crazy. It's crazy. Crystal Archie. What was the name of the ChatGPT infrastructure article? Somehow I missed that today. Oh, yeah. That is... It's on semianalysis.com, and it's called GPT-4 Architecture, Infrastructure, Training Dataset, Costs, Vision, and MOE. So just look up GPT-4 architecture. And then I think... Did I have it here? Let me go to Twitter. I'll go find it on Twitter. Let me see. So just look up... Go to Twitter and look up GPT-4 leak. Yeah. And there's like a bunch of people. There's like some TikTokers doing things on it and... parroting what it is. But it was on semi-analysis. GPT-4 Architecture, Infrastructure. It's by Dylan Patel and Gerald Wong. I wish there was a way for me to pop links into this chat, but, it's the TikTok. We have international live video distribution for free. What do you want? Links? Someday. Maybe I'll turn this into a TikTok store and I'll sell like fidget spinners for ADD. I'll just sit here and play with fidget spinners. I'll be like, look, I have, let's talk about AI. Oh, by the way, I'm writing with this erasable pink magic marker, which, by the way, you can buy right here. Anyone else sick of that shit already? You mark my words, 3 months from now. I was thinking about, what's the thing I was saying here about the technology? It's janky. I was thinking AI Learning Lab. It's janky, doing T-shirts or something like that. Something about that. We could do a hair T-shirt. Thanks for the news roundup. Things are getting spicy. They really are. It's just nuts. How soon will government start trying to regulate this? They're already talking about it. The FTC has knocked on OpenAI's door and said, hey, we need to talk. What are you doing? What have you... No. FTC has knocked on their door and said, what have you done? What have you done? So they're knocking on the door. The White House had Sam Altman, the CEO of Microsoft, the CEO of Google, and the CEO of Anthropic to the White House about 3 months ago. Sam Altman has been actively talking about wanting regulation for companies that have this kind of size and scale of all of these guys, but not for smaller people, which is good for innovation. The regulation thing is really, really tricky because we need smart regulation. We need regulation. We need smart regulation. We've got a Congress that doesn't know what fucking Wi-Fi is, and they don't legislate anymore. It's they're no longer a functional government. So what I'm hoping is that they put in some, an AI czar or some sort of very smart person like Jeffrey Hinton, who actually quit Google so that he could talk about the risks of AI. He would be an interesting person, say, to put, in a powerful position in government to drive smart regulation, because you don't want to overregulate it or you're going to kill innovation for the United States. And this shit's moving so fast that if you stifle innovation for 6 months, it's like the racehorses or, the F1 cars are going to be like, right past us. And we'll be like, hello? Is anybody here? So it's tricky. I don't know. I don't know enough about that whole world to know what to do, but it's terrifying right now because we have a non-functional, clueless government that we need to be acting not clueless and not horrible. And they can't seem to figure that particular piece out. I've been working with ChatGPT on data obfuscation tools so my idiot coworkers don't leak info. So Tired Runner. So you're talking about a thing called Rachel Woods from the AI Exchange talks about this a lot, called AI operations. If what you're doing, that's going to be such an in-demand role. You're going to be you'll be working for a long, long time, because that making AI safe for companies' data is probably the single most important thing in the next 3 to 5 years, probably longer. Because one of the things these tools make possible is you can take dormant data, like, we were joking earlier about being data hoarders. You can take dormant data and embed it and put it into, vector databases, make it GPTable, and all of a sudden this dormant data comes back to life and in remarkably powerful ways. So as companies start to get the taste of that, they're going to be like, oh, we've got 30 years of customer data we've always meant to do something with. Let's go dig into that and pull the good ideas out of it. And then, some cowboy's going to be like, I can do that in my Google Sheets. They dump it all in, and all of a sudden all the, proprietary shit is dumped out into the world. I think that's going to be a huge area of demand. I think there's going to be entirely new job categories in AI operations, the kind of stuff that you're talking about. So power on, get fucking just lean into it, man. You're going to be an in demand. If you think you're a tired runner now, tired runner, you get us a joke about your name and how you, because you're probably busy because trying to keep up with the idiots in the AI. All right, we're moving on now. More importantly, Kyle, an actor and a writer's strike. I know, right? And for both of them have major AI issues, right? The writers are like, hey, producers, you can't write scripts with AI without us or at all. And then the producers are like, okay, or we can. and and then after a really long delay in the actors' strike, the producers came back. Their first salvo out of like this ridiculous delay was, hey, we want to use background actors and we want to pay them for one day and then own their likeness for in perpetuity, where we never have to pay them again. So yeah, I know. Shit's changing. Business models are changing. Disruption is coming. The panic. Have you been watching? Because there's all these tornadoes lately. I feel like on TikTok, about every seventh video is some like cloud that's doing this, and then it kind of turns into a funnel cloud of a tornado, and just whoop, and then up go the roofs. It's like, I feel like this is one of the like all these sites showing up in like this 36-hour period and just getting better, and you know, Elon announcing his shit, and then all these lawsuits and the AP deal and just and the writers' strikes. I just feel like we're looking up. It's clearly a storm cloud up there, and we're starting to see them start to rotate. I feel like we're right at that phase where it's like, hey, that's interesting. You can see those clouds move. Oh, is that? Oh my! Oh no! Run! These lives are gonna get spicy. It's gonna get. Ooh, look what I did to my hair. We should never do that again. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. A little quaffing. I could use some quaffing coaching. Maybe I need to go to ChatGPT. The lyrics to the Temu, I feel it could have been AI generated. The lyrics are strange and creepy. Possibly, could be, absolutely. What's going to be interesting? So, artists that I know that are doing really interesting work that are AI literate, there's not a clear boundary between their work and the AI's work. Why? Because they're collaborating with it. So they come up with an idea, and then they start a poem, and maybe they have AI write some lyrics, and they're like, oh, that's good, and then they take that and they build on it. Same with images, where the people that I know that are doing image art, like the stuff that just rises above the noise, where you're like, holy shit, that's brilliant. That's often like 1,000 iterations in, 16 layers in Photoshop, where they're compositing and doing shit in Photoshop and using generative fill and Midjourney and mixing this stuff. Almost everyone I see that's doing anything interesting is some sort of hybrid AI, collaboration. Is it the computer or just the sounds echoing in my head? It could be that Emilio's wife. You never know. ChatGPT seems less smart recently. I agree with that. What are some of the alternatives you would suggest? Here they is. Right here. These are the alternatives I suggest. So if you're talking about GPT-4, so if you're at chat.openai.com and you've paid for ChatGPT Plus and you're using GPT-4 and it still sucks, I don't know that any of these other ones are better, but they're different. So you've got GPT-4 there. Bing is GPT-4, but it's different. I think the writing, from what I've seen at Bing in creative mode, so there's 3 modes: creative, balanced, and precise. In creative mode, it's not bad, but it's slightly too creative. Claude AI is good. That's Claude 2, which is the GPT-4 competitor from Anthropic, which is a bunch of ex-OpenAI people. Poe's got Sage, but Poe has a bunch of bots that could be interesting. I'm sure there's a bunch of writing bots in there. And then bard.google.com has historically been laughably bad, but all of a sudden today doesn't suck. So I feel like, do some experimenting. The nice thing about Poe is there's 6 different models there you can compare and contrast. So what I would do is I would take, if you've got a good solid prompt that you've written, I would just go down the line and start comparing and contrasting. Something is definitely going on at OpenAI where I think this is legal woes. I think they're cutting deals and they're trying to figure out how to not get their asses sued out of business. And so they're probably fine tuning the algorithms to be less generous with the inspiration from copywritten material. Oh, good Lord. And it's funny, that's another reason, Emilio's wife, you're asking about Meta, releasing that model. The downside of having the fine tuning of an OpenAI or a Google Bard or an Anthropic behind the firewall is that we don't know the changes they're making, right? We don't know the changes in the algorithm. And so we just instinctively go, it isn't as good at writing as it used to be. Or it's like my buddy Greg that I work with, he sent me a note. He goes, is it me or is GPT-4 worse at coding? And this is all within the last month or so, and it's it's all kind of coinciding with them pulling their Bing thing. So I have a feeling they're just dialing some shit back, and that's why it's not good. So they've got to strike that balance because they can't be in perpetual lawsuits or they won't be able to build anything. So I think my instinct is they're just dealing with cutting as many deals as they can. The AP deal's a really big fucking deal. That feels very symbolic to me. Considering they just pulled internet access because of the Fortune magazine issue. All right. Smart GPT, smaller font, but your pick fits in there just right. What's the best stock for AI? Don't ask an actor for stock picks. It's all of the clues are in the shit I have on my screen all the time. There's your clues. Throw inflection in there. What does ChatGPT? Why does it have a hard time with a PDF? Other AIs are better at it. I don't know. I think it's quite. So, is it bad with a PDF using Code Interpreter? Because I think it's fucking brilliant with a PDF using Code Interpreter. Isaac or Q or Issa Q or the Rose. Can we get jobs in the real world? If you've got talent, can we get jobs in the metaverse? No one's in the metaverse. The metaverse is coming. Let Apple figure out the hardware piece of it. They're on their way to do that. Give them 5 years. The problem with the current metaverse is that human beings are needing to build it right now. We actually need AI to get a lot more sophisticated so you can just speak worlds into existence and everyone's got their 3D AI avatar that represents them in all of their different permutations. So that's all being built right now. So I feel like in 3 to 5 years, we'll start to have the beginnings of Ready Player One. And then 10 years out, we'll be stuck in those apartments. I saw a slideshow today of how many LLMs there are, and some are way larger than ChatGPT. I'm so naive. I know, me too. I know. It's like what's coming is just like, it does, like, it really does feel like the storm clouds above us and it's slowly doing this, or it's that tsunami thing where like the low tide went way out, like miles out, and you're like, oh, it's so calm and peaceful, let's go pick up some seashells. And then you hear this rumbling in the distance. I totally feel like that's where we are right now. I don't think Jonah Hill would approve of your VW bus against his toxic boundaries. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, these kids these days, huh? All right. I'm winding up my voice is getting a little hoarse. I gotta have more coffee because it's ready. I'm almost ready for bed. Let me have a little more coffee. Mm-hmm. What's wrong? You gotta go pee? What do you want? You wanna go visit Mama? What do you want to do? Come on. Go to Mama. All right. Can you use Midjourney for... Can you use Midjourney images for anything in business? Here's the... It's a very gray area right now. Midjourney has definitely been trained on copywritten images. What I would say is, it depends on where your risk tolerance is. If you've got a decent one, I would not use the names of specific artists who still have copyright claims on any work that might be in there. So, don't use a specific artist's name, and because those artist names, unless you know what you're doing, are going to live in the metadata of the image. And one of the ways artists are probably going to come after companies or images that are out there is go build an AI to go search the internet to find all the images metadata and pull up their name anytime someone used a name. So find a way to make images where you don't use an actual artist's name is a way to do it. If you're more conservative, don't use Midjourney. Use Adobe Firefly and Generative Fill within Photoshop, because they're both good. They're not as good as Midjourney, but they're different. And all of the Adobe training models were trained on public domain and Adobe stock images where they own all the rights. So Adobe is making generative AI safe for business. So if you really want to be safe in business, use the Adobe products. No, Kyle, you need goblin.tools to organize your desk. All right, I'll go check that out. I don't know what goblin.tools is, or is that a joke? Should I know that? I don't know what goblin.tools is. Is that a thing? Should I go there? Is this going to give me some sort of malware? Better not give me malware, Vicky. Goblin. What is it? .tools? Goblin.tools. Magic to do. Yeah. To-do lists and ADD do not go well together. Add a new item. Keep up with AI. Oh, I like this. So I do like that this is just, you just start typing in your tools, and I assume it's using AI to organize them and sort them and shit like that. I might actually use this. The ones that drive me fucking crazy, the ones that I just can't use are ones where you've got to like come up with your own fucking hierarchy, like Trello. Like all you have to do is name all your columns and then populate all your columns and then create templates to create cards to put in your columns that you created. I'm like, by the time I organize my shit, like it's going to take me a month to come up with the infrastructure to organize my shit. I just need to put my shit in my shit and have it work. So if Goblin.tools does that, then you have a convert. Are you related to Goblin.tools there, Vicky? If so, like my initial instinct is it's better than any other of that shit that I've seen. Every single tool that I'm like, you should go use Notion or you should go use Trello. It's so inspiring. That's all said by like project managers that have good executive function. Assholes. All right, I have a question about AI. hire. Can I get that through to you? Wait, what? I have a question about AI hire. Yeah, you can DM me on TikTok. You can also go to my profile, and I've got a link tree there that's got my contact info in it. So, what's your name? Wait, Stopling? Stop in, grow, wait, stop ingrown hair. Sorry. Too many words too close together there. My brain's not parsing. I think it's getting late. I'm getting a little sleepy. I'm a little punch drunk. Predict old movies will be re-released as generative-filled 360 environments for VR Glass 360 theater. Yeah, I think that's a good one, Gregory. I also think that I think we're going to be able to recast movies. Like, I want to watch an old movie, but I want, some new star. I want Philip Seymour Hoffman starring in it. How can one plug into this AI thing on your own program? I don't quite know what you mean, but I assume you mean on using your own data. Where to start is just start learning these tools. Then I would start looking at automation tools like Zapier, where you can start to have it do you can pull data from different sources, process it in these AI tools, and then get it back out to other sources. Is a way to do it. And then if you really want to start digging into it, look into a project called LangChain, where you can start training these large language models on your own data. But that requires some geekiness. So I don't know where you are on the geeky scale. If you're on the very low end of the geeky scale, LangChain might be just like, it's a little much. You're going to need to find someone that knows how to do that. Thank you for the heart on the head. Hot on the head. I got hot on the head. Oh, God. It's so bad. Why do people stay? You should leave. I missed your comments about Elon Musk. That he's launching he's already announced that he's creating this new company called X.AI. They launched their Twitter account today. Apparently something is happening tomorrow. They're going to announce something, or there's going to be a Bard-like, ChatGPT-like competitor, or there's going to be some announcement, or he's going to say, we've discovered life on Mars, but you can only access it through my ChatGPT thing, but it hasn't launched yet, so wait till I launch the rocket, and then drive your Tesla to the thing and tweet with the blue check mark to the thing, and then you can get into my ChatGPT, but I won't call it ChatGPT because I hate Sam Altman, because I invested in a nonprofit and he made it for profit, so something around that. I think that's the announcement tomorrow. Pretty sure that's it. I'm not saying I've got inside information. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Listen, don't trust me. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust this guy. You want to know what my qualifications are? 0. Bupka. Nothing. I got nothing. So, but, is Elon a friend of mine? He could be. Did I talk to Zuck this afternoon? Maybe. Maybe I did. Maybe I do have qualifications. You ever think about that? What if I did? What if I did have qualifications? What if this channel was a ruse for someone who was actually qualified? It's very possible. All right. Carrying on. Put Kyle into your profile name so you're easy to find. That's not a bad idea. Which profile name? My that profile name? Nah. Yes. I kind of like that, because I had a comment once, we were on the live, and they were like, how big is this lab? It was like the comment, what are your qualifications? How big is this lab you work in? I want to know more about this AI learning lab. Do you have computers there? Who exactly is part of it? What is your role in this learning lab? I kind of like that it's... People are like, if it's a lab, why is he sitting in a home office with crap on the shelves? He seems a little touched. Is this really learning? Is this really do you think he's a scientist? Where's his white coat? Oh, he doesn't wear a white coat because of the text. I get it. But he's a scientist, right? Where are the petri dishes? I think we're gonna keep it vague for a while. So sick of the overload of sales and gamer streams. Oh my god, I know. I land in those rooms way too often. I know. It's just so painful now. It's like, I ordered these cups from the TikTok shop, and they're way more fantastic than I thought they would. You know what they can do? They can hold liquid. Oh my god, that's so good. Anyway, if you want to buy those, all right, I'd buy. Oh, you can make money with ChatGPT. I could do a T-shirt for you can make money with ChatGPT, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to spell it. I need help from the community on this one. You can make money. So we gotta respell. We've got to figure out how to spell money. You can make money with ChatGPT. Is it TAY with a lot of Y's? I don't know. We'll figure it out. That would be a good T-shirt, actually. Now that you speak of it, AI Learning Lab. You can make money with ChatGPT. With like a guy with really bad hair, like. We could also do the. I got my mind blown with ChatGPT, and all I got was this stinking T-shirt. All right. How did the Samsung thing leak happen? So they basically just used... So if you leave your chat history in ChatGPT, it's basically not encrypted or whatever. I don't know technically how they did it, but basically, if you want the shit you put in ChatGPT to be safe, you need to go into your data settings and turn off your chat history and tell them you don't want your data shared, right? And so it was before that option existed. So someone from Samsung one of them it might have been the same person, put a transcript from a meeting that was like a sensitive private meeting, and then they also put in some private sensitive data into the conversation, and then someone hacked it through their chat history. So however they did that. But you can turn that off if you want it safer. The deal with that, though, is if you turn that safety setting on, it deletes your history and you can't get it back. So make sure you export your data first so you get your chat history. Do you think Google also uses MOE? I forget what MOE is, but they probably do. I don't know. I forget what it is, though. I forget what it is. I don't know. Kyle is loopy. It's true. We're staying for the show. Yeah, exactly. Just fucking watch me just like stroke out and fall off my chair. Oh, it's a good show. He'll get up. Oh, I used PDF in Claude today to extract, and it was great. Awesome. No, Adobe also trained on all product users' images. So they're going to come after them too. No, that's not true. That's not true. They've explicitly said, listen, they might have lied, but they've explicitly said it's trained. And I can tell you, so I did a test on Adobe Firefly. In fact, let me go try it again and see if anything changed. Firefly.adobe.com. Text to image generate. Why does my image look all washed out? I have a feeling something happened with some filter or other. I look like some sort of pasty claymation dude. Or maybe I'm just fucking pasty. That's possible too. Hey, dang it. Here we come to save the day. I'm going to do an experiment here at Adobe. All right. 1970s muscle car in an abandoned factory. I will tell you in a few minutes if I still think that this is public domain images. Yes. So let me tell you why. Cars. None of these are 1970s looking cars. These are like 1964, maybe 5 kind of cars. That sort of looks like the 70s. That doesn't. Well, the hood does. But like that's definitely 60s. That's definitely 60s. So what this says to me is that these are they picked some arbitrary point for public domain to say we're not going to train on anything more modern than it's probably like 1967 or something like that. And I just stumbled upon Leonardo. Introducing Leonardo Academy. I think I've got some that I produced down here. Yeah, like there's some 70s muscle cars in Leonardo. Why can I not see the rest of my images? Yeah, like here's the abandoned factory ones. Like these are that's a 70s muscle car, right? That's a 70s muscle car. So what it says to me is that the Adobe training model is time constrained, kind of like ChatGPT goes up to September 2021. So now, is it possible they trained it on copywritten shit? It's possible, but what I do know is this: is that they claim is public domain images and Adobe stock images that they have the rights to, and then what they've said is they're going to create systems to allow artists to opt out of future training or opt into future training. Then they're going to work on an attribution model. Then they're going to work on a compensation model, like a streaming model. So if they are being nefarious and they just trained it on copywritten shit, then that would suck. But that's what they're claiming. Adobe retroactively changed their terms of service to allow the use of user work to train their AI. To allow the use of user work. Is that to allow the use of user AI generated work to train their AI? Because it would make sense if they were re-ingesting AI generated stuff, but I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe, listen, I mean, Google's original corporate motto was first do no evil, and they gave that up. so Adobe's a big company, but that's really interesting. I'll look into that because I know someone over there. I will. I can actually probably get an answer to that one. I might not be able to say it, but all right. I got a few more minutes. I don't know what I can't anymore. Do we care? What is your qualifications? No, we don't care. You are one cool dude man, at least you. Thank you. Design your t-shirt with Midjourney. I will. Put it in SpongeBob case. Okay. You can make money with ChatGPT. Oh, that's good doing it all as one giant word. And then it was like, you know what we'll do? Okay, I'm starting to get some ideas for you can make money with ChatGPT. Is we'll do like we'll do like a graphicized TikTok frame, and then we'll just have a face in it, like it'll be like GPT dollar marks will be the thing on the screen with the face, and then around it'll be you can make money with ChatGPT. All right. We're going to do a merch store. I'm telling you, the AI Learning Lab is going to turn into a capitalistic cash grab. We're gonna put out an NFT. It's gonna be awesome. Just trust me on this. The AI Learning Lab crypto coin's gonna make you a fucking fortune. I want that shirt. Okay. Oh, y'all is funny. All right, would you summarize your 14 Chrome tabs since I missed them? Yeah, so I showed ChatGPT, Bard, Bing, Claude, Pi, Poe. So all of the sites that have been hanging out on screen plus Pi.ai. Then I talked about the OpenAI and Associated Press deal. Then I just had Zapier there as a tab because sometimes people want to talk about that. Then I had the Elon Musk is launching their X.ai. They launched their Twitter today, and it sounds like they're going to do something tomorrow. And then Bard got good. And then the GPT-4 architecture apparently has been leaked. Not the core model, but like what all the architecture is. Like it's 10 times bigger than people thought it was. It's got all these expert AI systems within it. The reason GPT-4 is better is that it's significantly more complicated than they were letting on. And then the other big one was Meta. Zuckerberg said today that they've got a 30 billion parameter model that's as strong as GPT 3.5, and he thinks they're just going to release it into the wild, with all the weights, commercially licensed, as a commercial license, so that you can build businesses on top of it, and that would be a huge deal. So it's just like it's like I added 2 additional things to this list, and then just in what I was talking about right there's potentially 3 or 4 more that are going to be added to this. So, and they're all going to be fighting for our attention, right? And we're gonna I said this before. Like someone asked, should I buy the annual subscription for whatever it was? And I'm like, no, you should be doing month to month on everything, because this is going to ebb and flow where we're going to be like, oh, that's the best, but it cost me $20 a month. Oh, now that's as good as that, but it's free. Okay, I'll use that one. And then we're just going to be, we're going to be like sheep, because that's what we are, because we don't have imaginations. I'm thirsty. Have you bought a beautiful crystal tumbler from my TikTok shop? It's right there. Oh, it's so much better in that glass. I don't know why it tastes better. Have you noticed this is another pet peeve on TikTok is these prank channels where they've clearly written a script, and it's like worse than porn acting. They're like, watch and see if Sally notices if I sneak up on her. And then she's like, oh, you scared me. I'm like, really? Come on. Just knock it off. Take an acting lesson and a writing lesson. It's like, I don't care if it's TikTok and you can do it for free. It shouldn't suck that bad. It's like, God damn it. My secret is out. Wait, what was your secret? Oh, did someone found out that you're that you know AI? I was going to send you a T-shirt with "You can make money." Oh, were you really, Chris? That's really funny. You can make money with ChatGPT. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. That's good. There's something good there. AI Learning Lab with Kyle Shannon, kind of like painting with Bob Ross. Okay, I might do that. I could do that. I don't know. It's a little. I don't know that my ego needs any more feeding. It's already healthy. I got a healthy one. All right. We'll call the chunky dog to come if Kyle needs help. Yeah, exactly. Chunky Champy. How does he do the picture-in-picture on stream? Because I'm magical. I said to the TikTok, I would like picture-in-picture. No one else should have it. And they gave it to me. Because I'm influential. some would call me an influencer. It's just dual. You click a button when you go live. But what I do know is that they took it away from me for like a month for no reason, and then they gave it back for no reason. So if when you go live, you see this thing that says dual and it kind of looks like two little cameras, two little Instagram logos together, that's that. It's just the back camera's, looking at my laptop, which is sitting on top of a box. Because I'm fancy. Because I'm sophisticated. Any plugins for stock info or maybe in the future, hopefully? Yes. Go to if you pay for ChatGPT Plus at chat.openai.com and you go into your settings and enable the beta features and go into plugins, then just go to the plugin store and look for stocks. There's lots of plugins in there. Now, are any of them any good? I don't know. I ain't a stock trader because I'm too emotional. AI might help me with stocks because it can do things non-emotionally and just fucking turn it loose and let it go. But I'm sure there's some stuff there. Possible risk for financial advice. Yeah, I'll give you financial advice. Don't ask me for financial advice. That's the best financial advice you've heard tonight. Merch, yes. Okay. Oh my God, we're starting a merch store. All right. Meta's threads through Instagram. Wait. Oh, Meta's threads through Instagram launched. Yeah, and they got to 100 million users in 5 days, 6 days, which was faster than ChatGPT's 100 million in 6 weeks. But when you start with 1 billion Instagram users and just say, click to import all your Instagram friends, that's kind of cheating. Please do summaries like this every night, Kyle. Thanks. I will. Listen, I mean, to be clear, the last month, there really hasn't been a ton of news. Like, there's been little things here and there. But this week, all of a sudden, like, I just feel like all this stuff must have just been simmering in the background. And it's all just kind of like, it's all coming out right now. And it makes sense. We're kind of 6 months. If you think about development, of software, large language models have been around for a while. Like GPT-3 was launched a year and a half before ChatGPT came out. So these companies building the large language models and building on the large language models, like they've been around for a while. So ChatGPT launches in November. It catches on fire and everybody sort of panics. And then basically everyone started developing probably in January. So it makes sense that we're kind of starting to see stuff come out of the woodwork 6 months later. Like that feels like a right time to me to actually go build something that is decently functional, that you can push out past an alpha. So that's probably why all this is happening right now. But it's weird. Like this is a weirdly dense news week. And I don't think it's over. Like I would imagine, like depending on what Elon talks about tomorrow, and like the Bard thing, like Bard just getting that much better, like seemingly overnight. Like I didn't see a lot of talk about it. It's just like all of a sudden it's better. There's some weird shit happening. So I have a feeling some stuff's coming. And then like the AP deal with OpenAI, with them pulling access to the internet, but Bing not pulling access to the internet. There is some shit and deals going down right now. I have a feeling they're burning the midnight oil in San Francisco these days. But yeah, I'll try to. If there's news, I'll try to do it. I love you, Kyle. Who else loves Kyle? Thank you very much. And the bad acting takes 15 minutes to get to the good part. Exactly. The bad. I come for this. I come for the AI. I stay for the bad acting or the hair. Oh, have you seen the Vibe computer monitor? Maybe good for your next AI lab. Vibe computer monitor. Oh, it's a big interactive touchscreen thing. Oh, that's cool. I remember in the 90s, all these smart whiteboards came out that projected. It was like a projector in the room, projected on it, and then it had a touch screen, and it was all synced up. Smart whiteboards were out. That reminds me of one of those. My dude, you're on. I am the bear. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Smart whiteboards. Yeah, exactly. All right. Listen. It's 11 o'clock. I know where my children are. I'm going to go. It's been a busy day. Look at look at all these. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I can't do it anymore. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to go. You're not bad acting, Kyle. Your acting is good. Those badly acted real things. Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't call my acting good. I would say I am well committed. That's honestly the difference between good and bad acting is committing. It really is. Because the problem with all those videos, all the bad porn acting in those videos, is that they're all self-aware. They're like, we're doing a joke. Look at me trying to not laugh at how funny this is. Oh, it's so painful. It's so painful. Anyway, peace, everybody. I appreciate all your time. I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow's Friday. So, yeah, thanks. Thank you for acknowledging me sharing. And I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, maybe we'll have some more to talk about Elon tomorrow. It would be nice if he announced something of substance, but I doubt it because he just ordered like those 10,000 GPUs like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I don't think that's fast enough to build anything, but maybe he poached some people from OpenAI and poached some other people from Twitter, and he said they're going to integrate it into Twitter. So maybe it's some sort of Twitter's now got an AI chatbot. We'll see. Anyway, that's speculation. Peace out, everybody. Good night.